Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm looking at this. This is Yesterday's Enemy from 1959, and it's a Hammer production, yes. In a way this is a kind of a response almost to their previous film, The Camp on Blood Island from 1958, which did well at the box office but was quite controversial, panned by the critics. And this again is showing Hammer the diversity of what they can do in terms of war films. And this is a great film. This is an absolute classic film. So let's get into it. It's 95 minutes long. It's in black and white. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't too bad, I suppose, but generally the critics absolutely love this. It's written by Peter R. Newman, and it was based on his TV play for the BBC from 1958 called Yesterday's Enemy. And apparently Michael Carreras had seen this, and he immediately thought, yeah, this is a great script. So they commissioned him to do a screenplay, and hence we got the film. Yes. And so, as I say, it's produced by Michael Carreras, directed by Val Guest, the wonderful Val Guest. What a director. Quatermass Experiment 1955, Quatermass 2 1957, The Abominable Snowman 1957, say The Camp on Blood Island 1958, which was like a response to this film. This film definitely, yes, it's just something special. It also did The Day the Earth Caught Fire from 1961, and of course the wonderful When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, 1970. What a great, wonderful films they were. Let's have a look at the cast. I think the cast is so important in this film. We have got Stanley Baker playing Captain Langford. What an actor. I absolutely love Stanley Baker. He's such a great actor. Hell is a City from 1960 was very important, and also directed by Val Guest, incidentally. But of course, he did Guns of Navarone 1961, but Zulu 1964 is the one that really shot him to fame. What a film. I absolutely love it. It's a classic, is Zulu. He did Robbery 1967, based on Great Train Robbery. Then Perfect Friday 1970. What an excellent film that is. And then he was in Giallo film, A Lizard in a Woman's Skin 1971, which was a Fulci film. Fantastic. Then we've got Guy Rolfe, who plays the Padre. What an interesting actor he is. He was in Stranglers of Bombay, another Hammer film, 1959. But in terms of modern films, well, more modern, if you want to say it, Dolls, 1987, great horror film. Absolutely love that. And then he was in these Puppet Master films. Puppet Master 3, 1991. Puppet Master 4, 1993, Puppet Master 5, 1995, and Retro Puppet Master 1999. He's a very clear, strong presence. Definitely you see him in these films. Then we've got Liam McKern playing Max. What a wonderful actor he is. He was in The Day the Earth Caught Fire, 1961, as a journalist. Help, the Beatles film, was in that, 1965. And of course, Ryan's Daughter. Love Ryan's Daughter, 1970. And then Rumpole of the Bailey, of course, the TV series, 1978 to 1992. He was so much loved in that. Also, I do remember him in The Prisoner, the wonderful Patrick McGowan TV series. He was in a few episodes of that as well. And then we've got Gordon Jackson playing Sergeant Mackenzie. absolutely wonderful actor as well. The Quatermass Experiment, 1955. The Great Escape, of course, 1963. Night of the Generals, 1967. And of course, The Medusa Touch with Richard Burton, 1978. But he really made his name in many ways in TV, Upstairs and Downstairs. That was from 1971 to 1975. And The Professionals, 1977 to 1983. Yes. Then we've got David Oxley playing the Doctor, but not that Doctor, not Doctor Who, no. Now, he was a face that we might have seen in The Hound of the Baskervilles, another brilliant Hammer, Cushion Lee, Sherlock Holmes film. That is a wonderful film, 1959. He was also in, which was a fairly recent film I've reviewed, Bunny Lake is Missing from 1965. What a film that is. Brilliant film. Then we've got a very crucial role and a brilliant performance by Philip Hahn as Yamasaki. Wow. What a career. He actually is a South Korean whose career goes back to the 1930s. Well, what we know him as, really, is in the TV series Kung Fu, 1972 to 1975, where he played the famous Grasshopper. Yes, we loved it. We loved him in that role. David Carradine was there. Oh yes, David Carradine was his pupil, and he was great in that role. Oh yeah, we loved him in that. Then we've got Richard Pascoe playing Lieutenant Hastings. He was in Room at the Top, 1959, but from a Hammer viewpoint, he was in The Gorgon, 1964, and Rasputin the Mad Monk, 1966. All these Hammer connections, it's great. Then we've got a very familiar face, Percy Herbert. Here he is, playing Wilson. Percy Herbert, well, he was in Quatermass 2, 1957. He was in a Carry On film. He was in Carry On Jake, 1963. Carry On Jack, not Jake. Carry On Jack, 1963. Then we've got, he was in Bunny Lake is Missing, 1965. Brilliant film, as I say. I've just fairly recently reviewed that one. Fantastic film. He was in that. But he was also in 1 Million Years BC. Yes, quite an important role in 1 Million Years BC. What a film that is. Another Hammer production. He was in Beware My Brethren, which is another film that I love, a horror film, 1972. Excellent film. He was in The Wild Geese, 1978. The Seawolves, 1980. What an actor. And then we've got really the only female actress really in this film, which is Edwina Carroll, who plays Suni. It's a very smallish part, but interesting. It's quite an important part. She was in A Town Like Alice, 1956. She was in 2001 Space Odyssey, which of course is a film very well known. Kubrick film, 1968. And, Carry On Up the Jungle, 1970. She was in that. Wow. Fantastic, isn't it? Yes. But anyhow, I know I'm trying, I'm going on a bit, but I'm going to go on. This was filmed at Bray Studios and Shepperton Studios, where they recreated the jungle. Yes, the jungle is recreated in fantastic. You would think we were in the jungle. The direction is so good. The design. This is Hammer doing things on a low budget, but producing such brilliant things. You show me somebody today who would be using all the special effects who cannot, and spending an absolute fortune. And these, you look at this film, it's so effectively done. It is amazing. It really is. What is this film about? Well, it's set in Burma, in a jungle in Burma, and these remnants, really, of a platoon are making their way, retreating from the Japanese who are, well, they're closing in on them basically, and they come across this settlement, or like very small village. Sad at that, really. And they meet. There's some Japanese troops there, and there's a battle, and the British take over this area, but they know that the Japanese are going to come and retreat. But there's important things. They found this important document. They know that this document is important, but they need to get the radio working to communicate. They can't transmit, but they can hear broadcasts. And then they find like somebody who is an informer, and this is where some of the morality stuff comes in about war crimes, because it's showing that we could just be as ruthless as the Japanese, and we were undoubtedly in this film, and that is an important part of the film. And of course, the film it gets really tense. You're wondering what is going to happen to these troops, and you find sort of almost inevitability about it all. But all this is going on, and there's the morality, and the performances of Stanley Baker and Philip Ann as the two officers are fantastic. When they meet on screen, wow. Stanley Baker, I just think he's great. He should be recognised even more. What an actor he is. He just is such a great actor, he was. He really was. The other important thing about this film, which I love in the direction, is there's no music. All we get is the jungle sounds. It's fantastic. I mean, the way that the camera angles and everything about it, the makeup, the way, the sweaty sort of claustrophobic feel at times of this. Amazing, absolutely. And the acting is top rate, and you really are drawn into this. And it's quite brutal. It is, really. You could say it's very, very grim. It is. And the ending, wow, the ending it leaves you thinking about this film after you've seen it long afterwards, and it still feels relevant today with what is happening in the world. Really, it does. It about morality and war. I don't need to go any further, but the situations that go on in the world, and this film highlights it. It should be highlighted more. I mean, to think that Hammer produced this film, it's just an outstanding film. It was up, as there, for 4 BAFTA nominations. It didn't win. It should have done. It should have had a blooming Oscar nominations, because it is so good. It really is. It's outstanding, and I highly recommend it. Really, I can't talk about this film enough, but I won't go on and on because it raises so many questions, and like all the cast that I mentioned are fantastic. Everybody is fantastic in this film. And to say, when I watch Stanley Baker, you're going to get something special. And you really do. He's so good in this. Anyhow, I'm going on a bit here. Look, there it is. That's the indicator release. Some wonderful extras on here. The extras, I went through them all. Absolutely fascinating. It really is. I wonder how often you get a film with no music in. That is interesting thought, isn't it? It's funny because there's a trailer and there's all music in, and it kind of, you can see now why the not having any music is so effective in this film. It's something I've not seen, and it's amazing that Hammer, once again, let's fly the British flag for being in British filmmaking way ahead of the game. Nobody can match that, I don't think. Anyhow, there we are, I'm going on. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, then we'll let you know when I produce these videos. If you like this video, please give it a like, because it gets it out onto YouTube and hopefully into algorithms, so more people might like it and choose it. If if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I really do love to read your comments. And it all costs note. So you can't say for that, can you? Hey, buy it, not nowadays. But yeah, this is a film that I just love, as you can guess. So there we are. All I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.